I mean, I have not recorded myself for a while, and when I share my problem, to other people, that are trying to truly help me, like my family or other helpful people, I finally figure out, what's my issue, right? And this is why I always complain about this type of problem always on YouTube, and I feel like it's getting worse. So I'm sorry I have not been recording for a while. Obviously, because I'm too lazy, and obviously because I'm probably very emotionally very stressed out right now. So it look like my future is not going well, if this problem does not, solve out, right? Yeah, so yeah, that, the title of this video, like lately I've been acting so weird lately. Like, yeah, you can go to like all my 2022 video and you see like all these weird, immature video, and I probably will have to remove it if people that dislike it, right? I know a lot of people notice that my behavior has been acting weird lately, and yeah, if you're curious of why, you just have to watch this video, right? I already, done exposing myself. I don't need to expose myself anymore. And yeah, and based on, when I keep exposing myself now, really see the real reason why, these problems just keep coming back, and it gets worse and worse and create more new problems, you know, that I have not done in the past, honestly, right? Yeah, I know that, it's been like many years, I obviously act like the Nubans, but then, in a matter of time, I just become back to the old self like very easily. It's like very hard to change. Yeah, changing your personality, I understand, is like very hard, Some of my friends said you always need to be yourself, right? And people think, I have lack of confidence, always thinking, negative. And now, like, I've been acting so weird, and now I know I start hating people for real. And this is not a joke. Like, I just want, to be enemies with people. And that's not seen to be good. And I mentioned this, several times, people I know, even my family members, but it's not that, I don't think that's a good thing, to hate on someone, for just no legitimate reason, right? So yeah, every time, people give me advice, how to stop this, stop that, I always talk about my problem and thinking, this is why I don't tend to listen to you, this is why I tend to be very stubborn, it's because the reason why I tend to be, stubborn to people is because thinking that they're always wrong, thinking I'm always right, and literally don't want to admit my mistake. It's that can be a really big problem right there. So yeah, I think the main reason why. So now I figure out, why this problem keeps haunting me back. Now, I finally talk about it, and finally I got helped, right? So if you like to criticize yourself so much, like doing this, doing that, something that's not making you happy, then yeah, criticizing yourself is not healthy because it's actually destroying your confidence. That's what I read from the internet. So this is what I recently been doing, and I need to stop doing that. And obviously by explaining, like, I don't want another reason why people start disliking my video, because I keep explaining the problem over and over again and love to complain so much. I mean, say that I don't do well and stuff. I mean, to be honest, I think for the past few years I actually been doing, really exceptionally well. Like, everybody loves me and stuff. Like, I used to be the most, like, likable person in the world, but in a matter of time, maybe now, less people are now liking me, because of my recent attitude has changed. So yeah, it's looked like, a lot of people, refuse, to not, to avoid me. There's a lot of people that still like me, even though I've been acting weird, because, like I recently tell you, like, like I always, hate, being my, the old Vince and stuff, and I realize that I'm going hard on myself, right? How are you going hard on yourself? Like, yeah, like I always try to beat my record in running. I try and do this, try and do that. That's the reason why, people go hard on themselves. Like, you're making a general statement. It's like, why you go hard on yourself? The reason why you go hard on yourself is because, you feel insecure, right? And yeah, I mean, by feeling insecure, you're always, gonna go very hard, like you feel like you're not satisfied enough, and then you keep wanting to try harder and harder to prove people that, you are the best. And that way, you don't get criticized. Yeah, because when you criticize, when you go, hard on yourself, then eventually it's gonna destroy you, man. That's exactly what's happening to me, right? I mean, the biggest reason why, I feel like I fail every single year, why I hate every single year, is because, I keep hiding the problem, rather than, I'm telling it. You know that, little problem in life, doesn't kill you, doesn't, destroy your life. I mean, it's better if you solve your problem right now than just to wait, because eventually it will get bigger and bigger. It's like domino effect. Like the little one hit the bigger one, then hit the bigger one, and then eventually it's gonna lead to like a really big problem, right? The domino effect, right? You get how it is. You get how it is, right? So yeah, I mean, if I would have known this a long time ago, then I probably wouldn't be in this situation, honestly, right? And this is how I got injured this year, stinking this year, because, just due to stupidity and, and never, satisfied, of, how good I am, right? And I just want to act tough, and this is why I beat up on my own body, and now, I suffer injury for like many months, and now I cannot do normal activity, activity for a while, so, yeah, because of the injury problem, but now, like, I have lost to be honest, like this year, 2023 could be my worst year ever, right? It's because, I realized, like, like, I refuse to listen to these helpful people. I thought these people are not helping me, but they actually are helping me, and I did not realize that. And now, like, when you stress yourself out too much, it can permanently change your, personality, which can be very detrimental. It can be very dangerous, and it does not look good on you, when it changes in a negative way, right? I seen why people have to be so rude to me, right? I mean, even though I have never met this person before, and I never seen their, them, ever in my life, I just be the first time saying they're like rude. I'm like, oh, okay, I understand, like, yeah, that's just life, you're always gonna have ups and downs, and when people have, problem, and when they get so stressed out, and when they face like really like pain in life, and this is why they get emotionally stressed out, and when you get too stressed, yeah, change it in a negative way, and then people start being rude and stuff. I understand that, right? I give you, for example, a year ago, I worked this guy in Amazon, his name, I don't want to give you his name because, for your privacy purposes, and I don't feel like telling about it. I know, being in a wheelchair and also feeling suffer all the time, gets you really stressed out, and this is why, people can be really rude and stuff. I get it, but if you're happy and you're always successful, if good things always happen to you, then of course you're not gonna be rude and all stuff. You're gonna be all nice and sweet, right? Yeah, a lot of people used to like me because, I used to be a very good gentleman, like very sweetest gentleman out there, That's why people interested now, like, okay, like in the real future, if I keep this up, keep being rude, keep, hating people, keep, using foul language, cussing, all that stuff, and keep talking all that crap, then a lot of people are not gonna like me. It's that simple. And I know that building a relationship is actually a lot harder than, I'm just saying that this, what I mean is that destroying your relationship between, you and the other person, is easier than your building a relationship. That's what I'm saying. It's easier to lose than you gain. Of course, that's common sense. So yeah, obviously, being the Ovens, I just literally scam myself, The Ovens it's just technically using me, This is why, I feel like he's a criminal. He always want to take over life, always, want to self-destruct, and always think about himself and benefit himself. Right? Yeah, obviously, in general, I know it's a lot of time, but there's just a lot of bad people out there, honestly, To me, they're like scammers, right? They only want to use you. That's about it. They don't care about your life. Seriously. And now, I become this type of person, right? And I know people to hit a dislike in this video because, I explained my problem, and now, my personality changed, due to, the stupid stress I put on myself, right? Yeah, and obviously this is why I tend to get tend to be a little lazier than usual, right? You know why I get lazier now? Look on YouTube. Look how many months I have not been. I'll say Vince, like, how come you have not been on YouTube for like literally like so many months? I'm like, yeah, due to stress, due to laziness. I mean, because you're stressed out, you tend to get lazier, you get unorganized, and you have a lot more problem, added to your life, and this is why, your life is to go downhill instead of going uphill, right? I mean, I did everything perfect, to be honest, but now, I get mad easily, I get stressed out easily, and now, my life is turning, in the wrong direction, so... Well, hopefully, it will get better from here on, right? But yeah, it just take only like one little problem just to self-destruct everything that I earned in my life, right? All that hard work. And honestly, I've been losing a lot of money this year. Obviously, mainly due to, stupid injuries and stuff, right? Yeah, ever since I get injured now, like, it cost me like thousands. I honestly lost like thousands of dollars, due to like injuries and stuff, and lost a lot of time too. Not only I have to pay for medical bill, now I cannot even go to work. Obviously, when you feel sick, obviously when you feel injured, you can't go to work, so you lose your opportunity of making money. So, if I don't know how much money I lost, but if I have to estimate, I would say at least $10,000, and that's damn a lot of monies right there. I mean, with that type of money, that's many. It will take people, years to save that much money, honestly. Well, obviously you have to pay money for a lot of things, so you're not gonna... Saving money is not easy too when you make money, obviously. You can lose a lot. It's very easy to spend money, but it's very hard to gain it. That's the bottom line. Luckily I don't have to pay rents and all that stuff, don't have to pay food and housing, so luckily I can save money, a lot easier that way too, thanks to my parent, success, so... Yeah, and also, I've been acting strange lately, so just in case you see me very rude and stuff, like, don't be surprised. You just watch this video and you just listen to every word I say, right? Yeah, because I just feel like, I feel like I'm never, good enough, and you always have to, be, thinking positive. You always feel like you're good enough, and when you think... See, this is the problem, why I want to run so hard and why I want to injure, how I got injured, because I don't feel like I'm good enough in running, so I want to try to beat my record all the time, and obviously because, lack of opportunity, life is too short and stuff, so... Yeah, and I also want to talk to you about, like, being cocky, right? Recently, I have been very cocky lately, right? As time goes on. I mean, right... Ever since 2020, like, all these problems are now, coming, like, out of nowhere, right? I mean, even before 2020 started, I think I was a very humble person. Like, starting 2020 is, like, when, I started getting cocky, right? And then, as we head into, 2021 and 2022, I get more cockier than usual than, in 2020, right? I get more cockier. A lot more cockier. And why do people want to act so cocky? So... Obviously, when you talk about cocky, it means fake tough guy, right? I mean, I'm a guy, so you call me fake tough guy. So I'll tell you the difference between, a fake tough guy and a real tough guy. So, obviously, like, being cocky and delusional, can, annoy people the same thing, or people will just laugh at you at some point. I even compare myself, to Michael Jordan. I think, like, oh, I will cook Michael Jordan, in a 1v1 battle, I always, have so much confidence. This is why, people act cocky. The reason why you want to act cocky is because, you want to hide your insecurity and, lack of confidence. So that way, people will stop criticizing you. People will stop, pointing and looking down on you. I mean, people are not stupid these days. They're intelligent creatures. I mean... They know why you act cocky. They don't even need to search on the internet. But for me, it needs to search on the internet. I mean, that's how dumb I am, to be honest, right? Yeah, I tell you the why, like, well, being cocky, like, does, solve problem, but it actually, it is, like, it can destroy you in the long run, right? Yeah, I mean, some of my view on YouTube actually on this side because I was very cocky lately, and I act like a smart Alex, right? I keep saying this era is a joke and something like that. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty, sensitive, to be honest, right? This era is not weak. You can live in tough era and you're still gonna get the same result, no matter what, right? So I'll tell you okay, so you want me to continue. You want me to explain everything, why, being cocky isn't good, right? Let me talk about, if you don't know what confidence, there's a difference between cocky and confidence. Confidence is like, like you accomplished something in the past and then you want to accomplish, you want to make more goals, right? You want to do something, you're trying to go bigger and stuff. That's what confidence is like, like you do something, like, past, and that you will get better. I mean, just by practicing and being disciplined. The cockiness is unstated and also, like it's like inflated ego, right? Cockiness is like confidence that comes out of nowhere. Cockiness is people, like they're being a fake tough guy. So, yeah, inflated ego and being cocky also to order to tell a person being cocky mean saying that they accomplished something without no backup evidence. They say they accomplished, or they underestimate their ability, they underestimate their ability, right? Way overestimated, right? Let's just say that they can do this. They say they can do this, but they can actually only do this, right? It's like exaggerating your ability, just to prove others, saying that you have lots of confidence. That is being cocky right there. And cocky people always tend to talk, trash, right? So, yeah. So there's a difference between cocky and confidence, right? So that's why I want to act cocky in the first place. So there's a reason why I've been, let me explain real quick between now, I got, confidence versus cocky now. And let's compare the difference between a tough guy and a cockiness, right? Cockies are obviously, a bunch of actors, poser, just pretend to be a tough guy, right? That's what it is. So being a fake tough guy, so let me tell you the main difference between tough guy. Now I talk about, what everything's cocky. So being a tough guy, to order to be a tough guy, you just need to stop complaining, period. I mean, when you're a tough guy, you don't criticize yourself and you really want to learn, you do things, without, proving others, that you can actually do this. That's what a tough guy is like. You don't have to show people proof and you don't have to talk it out. A fake tough guy always have to brag like he's so good and not, staying humble. Well, tough guy will always be humble, right? They don't brag, I mean, whatever problem they run into, like, they just deal with it like it's like nothing, I mean, you gotta have a thick skin like a rhino, able, to take hits, take tank. It's just like, you're like a tank, like taking many hits, without feeling much of a pain, Versus, the fake tough guy, they always complain, they always brag, they always have to exaggerate their ability. But for tough guy, they just, they just don't have to do any of that, right? I mean, and also there's no definition of being cocky I forgot to mention. Like, you're being delusional, saying like this will happen, but it'll never happen. Like, cocky always, like making unrealistic goals. I mean, this is what happened running. I make unrealistic goals and I try to beat my record, in an unrealistic way and try to beat my record all the time, and this is how I get injured, Right? Let me give you, for example, like, being delusional. So I actually compare myself to Michael Jordan. Like I said earlier, like, I even tell people saying that, oh, you stupid retard, say that, I tell me that I have no confidence, say you need confidence, Vince, say that, oh, like, I'll cook Michael Jordan in 1v1 battle. To be honest, I used to play basketball, when I was like, a small, kid, but I really don't play basketball. All I do is just run and, and do, and just play video game. Like, you don't even play basketball. Like, how would you cook people, man? let alone like cook Michael Jordan, right? There's even people, you know, who are just regular street ball. They can literally cook me in a 1v1 battle easily. And plus, you know, Michael Jordan is the GOAT, right? I always compare myself to LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, and, you know, Michael Jordan in basketball. And also, you know, when it comes to success, I mean, they're celebrity, right? I'm just a regular people, you know. I mean, in order to be a celebrity, you gotta have like million subscribers on YouTube. You gotta have like a lots of followers too, which is not happening to me. I mean, couple thousand, you know, followers on, you know, just to have follower on like social media isn't a celebrity, okay? That's just being me, being realistic here. And sometimes you know, fake tough guy doesn't admit the truth, and tough guy always admits the truth, right? Whenever, you know, people say a lot of good things about me, but I don't always believe that. Like, there's just literally something wrong with me, honestly. You know, I just always love to complain so much lately on literally trivial stuff, right? Something, you know, that I shouldn't be worrying about, right? And just because, you know, I see a problem, that doesn't mean, you know, like, you should try to overfix it. Sometimes overfixing it can make the problem get worse. Like, I always like to tend to punish myself. Hopefully, you know, this problem goes away, but it can get worse. It can make more new problems in the future. So that's what's been happening to me lately, right? I mean, I always, you know, get mad at people easily, you know. I like to insult them and bully them. I mean, that tells me that, yeah, that it's just fake tough guy. The reason why people bully is because they have low self-esteem. Obviously, that's why they do it, right? Yeah, I mean, and there's a consequence of being cocky. Like, not only, you know, like, you put more pressure on yourself, you know, you become a bigger target, right? And a lot more people are gonna come after you. So it's just like, you know, you're making like all these hungry, you know, wolves. You know, people are like, you know, hungry wolf or hungry, you know, predator out there. You know, now, you know, you become a much more easier victim and a target, you know, when you're just being cocky. I promise you that being cocky, you know, like, it's impossible, you know. It's impossible to accomplish anything, you know, when you're too cocky, right? And there's a consequence of being cocky is that, you know, it's actually, you know, you're most likely gonna get embarrassed, you know, when you're cocky, right? A lot more shit things are gonna happen to you when you're cocky. I mean, being cocky, you know, like sometimes being way too cocky, sometimes, you know, can sometimes be very bad, because now, you know, you're gonna do a lot of dumb decision, you know. I mean, say that you overflate your confidence out of nowhere, and then, you know, you don't think too much about consequence, and then you can put yourself in your life, you know, a lot more dangerous and trouble, and that's where everything goes downhill, right? And this is exactly what happened to me, you know, and now I suffer consequences, right? Maybe if I was a little less cocky, maybe I wouldn't suffer, you know, this much. Maybe I wouldn't injure myself. Maybe I wouldn't run so hard, you know, always, you know, trying to obsess, you know, being my record, right? See, I need to be a tough guy, honestly, right? Right now I'm not a tough guy. This is why a lot of people tend to pick on me. The people pick on you because you're not a tough guy, right? Tough guys, look at this. I have to repeat myself say in this video again. Tough guy don't need to prove anything of why they are so tough. And the one that like to act tough, they have to prove it, right? If somebody's tough guy, you know to definitely stay away, and you know that they don't need to show proof right there. You already know, like, they are very tough, right? Yeah, whenever, you know, like, they're in a painful situation, they don't complain. They just act like if nothing has ever happened. I mean, comparing, you know, to the real fake tough guy, you know, like, they act like, you know, it happened. Yes, you know, sometimes I want to act fake tough guy, that way, you know, people will stop picking on me. I mean, some people, and sometimes, you know, being fake tough guy saying that I just want people not to like me. I want everyone to stay away and be afraid of me, right? Yeah, that's obviously a fake tough guy, right? And the fake tough guy obviously want to act real tough, real strong, thinking that he can knock a person out in literally second. Like, man, I'm honestly, like, look at my physical bit. Like, do you think I'm a tough guy? To order show me I'm tough guy, like, why don't I pick somebody, you know, that is actually bigger than me, right? Instead of picking someone that's literally smaller and weaker than me. Why don't you pick someone that's bigger, right? That show you a tough guy. Like, I wouldn't do that, right? Not dumb myself, to get myself beat up. No, I'm not dumb myself or get myself killed. Right? Yeah, but now I know why, my life always feels suffering, and why, I've been a real tough guy. So yeah, and the tough guy, whenever they get criticized, they just ignore criticism. Sometimes they do that. Sometimes they take criticism, seriously and just fix the mistake. What fix guys, I always complain, and always don't want to learn and just, ignore and just get really stressed out for no reason. So there you go, man. Well, I'm not gonna say this again, but the Ovens it's probably just delusional, and just like Clipper, like Laker versus Clipper. The Laker always always win championship, always stay humble, but being Clipper or Ovens, being the Clipper fan or Ovens, just being delusional, thinking like always win championship. I told you that when I keep being the Ovens, I will never be successful, right? I told myself so many times, like, yeah, Ovens is technically a scam. Like, I'll never be successful. I'll never, win anything big. But I technically gain nothing out of it. Just by keep criticizing myself by being the Ovens. I technically gain nothing out of it, honestly. Yeah, and you think this actually helps my problem go away? No, it does not. Right, and also, just because you have a problem, it's good you have a problem in life, because, people have to go through their challenges. That's why I overheard, right? Yeah, nobody's perfect, Like I said, man, I thought like people make excuses like, oh, like bad days and good days happen, but the thing is that you're not perfect. You're gonna make mistakes, and you're gonna have to learn from it. Obviously, even if you make the dumbest mistake in your life, you're gonna have to learn from it. Mistakes are mistake. Like you don't know everything, to be honest. You could be as smart as me. You could be like a million times smarter than me, but you're gonna make mistake because you don't know everything. That's what it is, right? That's why, even the smartest person in the world will make mistake, and yeah, mistake will happen, and you're just, process of, learning. And it's good to have a problem in life, because, you need challenges, right? Obviously you need to challenge yourself. Like, just because you have a problem, don't feel like, you don't feel like sorry for yourself. Like, this is what happened to me, honestly, sometimes, but yeah, I mean, so let me get back, cocky. When I act cocky, obviously, a lot more people, will put more talking. Obviously, a lot more people are now gonna dislike me, right? I mean, just act tough and just to prove you're tough, right? Yeah, like, it's just this is just honestly, unnecessary to me, and just make a lot of dumb mistakes, right? Cocky, can lead you to even making dumber decisions in life, and that has happened to me. This is exactly why I have lost a lot of money this year. So just imagine like losing thousands of dollars. Like, you can honestly go on, that's like booking a vacation, for like literally months, and that's like literally, you can pay rent for like easily like for like almost a year. Well, because I live in California, maybe that money is like good enough to pay like 3 or 4 months worth of rent, for expensive housing, right? Yeah, I mean, I got nothing else to say, but this video is too long, so next time I gotta cut it short. But yeah, I gotta learn how that's another thing, is when you have a problem, sometimes when you try to solve it, it doesn't resolve like right away. Like, it actually takes time. Like, things doesn't happen overnight, right? Just imagine like you create yourself a problem and then you dig yourself hole. So that means, yeah, you have to climb back up, right? You dig yourself down and you have to climb yourself. It go one way or another, right? You go one way down and you have to go one up, right? Just to like neutralize it. This is why, like, the minute you see a problem, like, you solve it right away. Some people don't even recognize that problem. This is why they keep making bigger problems, right? That's the good news about me, is that sometimes I realize the problem, so I just need to stop it. And sometimes it could be bad, like you realize your problem, but then you don't do anything about it. That could be bad too. in another way. So yeah, like if you don't want to act so cocky, I mean, to order stop being cocky, you know, to convince you to stop being cocky, tell them like, say, you know, like, yeah, you need to stop feeling insecure. You need to, you know, have some confidence. You know, always stay hungry, always stay humble, and that's how you grow to be a better person. That's how you become a lot more successful, right? I know that confidence. I know that I'm a very, you know, good person, to be honest. You know, naturally, people have been saying it, to be honest. You know, I'm naturally a very good person. I am very talented, but there's level of being good, right? I mean, I know that I'm a very good person. I know that I'm better than a lot of people out there. This is why, you know, people tend to pick on me. They think because they're too jealous of my, you know, accomplishments. There's level of being good. Like, you know, I'm good, but I'm not like a celebrity. I'm not as good as Kobe Bryant or LeBron James or, you know, Michael Jordan or whatever that is, or, you know, other Michaels, right? Or other, you know, greatness, right? Or the, you know, the Messi's, you know, in the MESSI, you know, the guy who plays soccer, right? Yeah, you know, or the like next legend or whatever that is, right? Or Pee Wee Dye, you know, the goat of the YouTube, right? Or Mr. Beast. So I cannot compare myself to that, right? I mean, that's okay if somebody's hiring you. You just gotta respect them and don't say disrespectful thing to them, you know. Right? There's no reason just to be, you know, being delusional. I mean, to be honest, you know, I know Michael Jordan's out of shape, but he will easily cook me in the basketball. Like, no question about it, right? Yeah, that's what cocky is. So I'm gonna end off here, you know. You know, I have to end off video here. Sorry it was a long video, but I feel like I need to talk it out because I'm just stressed out and I want you guys to listen to this, and peace out.